I'm feeling good.
Black people are coming together and doing a Block Party 2025 on TikTok to block all Africans and African Black Brits due to the continuous disrespect and them making money off of us by rage baiting us for clout and views. And they are always looking for us to respond some way. We are exhausted.
All right, y'all, welcome back to the Block Party. We got another one. And what I find so funny about this guy is he was not popping at all until he started talking about us Black Americans. His most popular video is him talking down on us Black Americans. His second most popular video is him talking down on us Black Americans. His third most popular video is his mom calling him a fruitcake. I'm not even trying to be funny, but that's exactly what happened. His mom called him a fruitcake. She was being funny about it, but that's his most popular video before he started talking bad about us. And what I find so interesting is we were just loving on the Scottish Blacks. That's all we were doing. Us Black Americans were minding our own business, loving and admiring on the Scottish Blacks. And just like ants to a motherfucking picnic, here come everybody else coming in talking shit about us yet again. They say we have main character syndrome. Well, y'all the ones who gave it to us, because here we are. This boy has made 3 videos about us. 3, and all of them are talking down on Black Americans. If y'all would have just left us alone, there would have been no issue. And it's like, all your videos about us are bad. You didn't say not one good word about us. You never made a video. I scrolled through your page many times. You never made videos about us until this situation where you could hop and latch onto something negative, and you made 3 videos about it. Your best video was like 500,000 views, and that was you talking down on us yet again. And what I find so extra annoying about this whole thing is he tried to make it seem like he was coming from a genuine, wholesome place. But if you actually look at the comments that he's liking in his comment section, you can see that this was not from a good place at all. Let's also remember the comments were just awful in there. But like this one, it says that black people and stupidity go together like soulmates. Like, and he liked it. And then the other one talking about, oh, America is starting to sound like North Korea. He's liking it. And then the other one saying, I want them to point to Scotland on the map. And he's liking it. Like, these are some of the comments that he's actually liking in his comments. He's not making any comments himself, but he's liking all of these comments. So it's like, you're not coming from a genuine place, and you never had a nice word to say about us at all. Like, go ahead, you can add this one to the block party, because I'm sick of it. I'm blocking everybody. Like I said, we're going to be having a block party.
Americans have a recorded tendency of throwing rocks and hiding their hands, and then playing victim when they're called out for their lack of education as Americans, not as Black people, but as Americans. So I remember when Black Americans were referring to African braiders as the Africans, saying the Africans played in my hair. Then African people were saying, we actually don't like when you refer to us using the term Africans because it feels a bit derogatory, and the tone and the way in which you're using it feels derogatory, to which Black Americans like, it's never been derogatory before, how is it derogatory? And it became a whole thing. And then Africans had to explain to Americans how referring to them as the Africans and African braiding shops can be seen as derogatory to some people, and had to explain African identity, especially how it's perceived in America and the reason to why that is offensive. I remember another time there were videos where Black Americans were trying African food and made like a massive show of showing how disgusting they found it and how gross it was. Africans responded to that by saying, you guys eat soul food, which fine, mean, whatever, talking about how soul food is unhealthy. And then Black Americans replied talking about, that's so disrespectful, you don't know the history of the food, you don't know like the history of slavery, this, that, the other, we had to eat this, we had no choice. But did you not think about the history of the African dishes which Black Americans were disrespecting? What? There was another time where Black Americans said that Black British people eat disgusting British food, which is horrific, and this and that and the other, talking about beans on toast for English breakfast and roasts and some other like mashed potatoes and random stuff like that, to which black British people explained, you don't have a clear understanding of blackness in the UK because most black people in the UK are from Afro-Caribbean descent, meaning that we eat our home country's meals mostly, but we also do enjoy British food. And then again, we were talking about, well, you guys have soul food for breakfast, and then once again, it's black Americans are now the victims because we're being racist when you were the first ones that came and talked about our food. Another time, black Americans, or Americans in general, actually, I don't think it was just black Americans, but Americans in general were saying how disgusting Chinese takeaway looks and how racist it is to call a Chinese takeaway a Chinese, to which Asians or East Asians living in the UK, specifically Chinese people living in the UK, had to then reply saying how racist it was to call that food disgusting when Chinese immigrants that came to the UK and made Chinese takeaways had to create that food as a means of survival to cater to the British taste, and to call it disgusting was really kind of like xenophobic and showed a complete disregard or misunderstanding of UK, like, East Asian experiences. There is another example, woman. Now with this black Scottish thing, every black person across the world, seemingly outside of America, seems to understand how migration patterns work. So what black people globally are explaining is that as opposed to slavery, where black people were forcibly moved to the Americas, and then specifically in the USA after slavery was abolished, although most black people lived in the South, there were very specific hotspots where it was mainly safe for black people to live, and so black Americans mainly congregated in those spaces. Those aren't how migration patterns work for all different groups of black people. And so most other black people understand that whilst slavery and migration patterns happen in a very specific way, so it's normal for black people to be shocked that black people live outside of those hotspots for black Americans. When Africans and Afro-Caribbeans migrate, they sometimes migrate to hotspots, but Africans don't also all have an understanding of where is safe, where isn't safe, where is white, where is black, or even have a care, because that's not a part of their history of like having to, like, if you live in Africa and you're moving to the UK or you're moving to any other country, you might not necessarily know how good or bad racism is in any one specific place, so you can move anywhere. Most black people outside of America, or most like Afro-Caribbean people, understand the fact that you will have family in the most random places. Like one of my mum's best friends lives in fucking Oman, I know I have cousins that live all across the world. So it's not surprising, shocking, exciting for us to find out that black people live in different countries, because we know that, because we have an understanding of how Afro-Caribbean migration patterns work, which is that they're pretty sporadic, versus black Americans don't seem to have an understanding as to how Afro-Caribbean migration patterns work, which is why they would be excited or surprised or shocked that those people exist. And regardless of whether or not certain groups of black people come up on my For You page, I wouldn't be excited, because it's just general knowledge. Like, it's not about an education system, it's not about school systems failing. General knowledge of how Afro-Caribbean like migration patterns work is why people outside of America aren't shocked to find out that black people live in Scotland. So I think that sums everything up. But once again, black British people weren't even being rude. We were just saying, oh, like, why are you surprised? And then black Americans are saying we're now shitting on them, or whatever was being said, that we're showing hatefulness, that we don't let them have a fun time. It's funny to us that that's not a general point of knowledge, that black people exist everywhere. Or like there's no need to be excited. And this is not to say that I don't think black Scottish people should get their shine, they 100% should, but like, it's not surprising. But black Americans are also denying or refusing to acknowledge the fact that in that discussion, a lot of them were saying that they believed black Scottish people to be Aboriginal to Scotland, that they didn't want black Scottish people to let Africans steal everything that they have, and that they're so much nicer than black British people, when technically, in terms of nationality, black Scottish people are black British, even if they don't identify as that. And yeah, black Scottish people and black British people do have different cultures, But Black Americans don't understand that. They weren't talking about that. They were just talking about the fact they were just trying to create a divide in some weird, like, triangulation tactic to separate Black Brits and Black Scots when Black Scots are Black Brits by nationality. So there are so many other examples of where Black Americans, like the Tyler situation, they insert themselves into someone else's area, place, blackness, identity, and then when they're corrected and it's explained that they have a lack of education and understanding and knowledge because they are American, not because they're Black, because they're American, then now they're the victims. And it's a constant thing. And this constant fight to make us talking about how uneducated Black Americans are about blackness is really dangerous, because it is implying that the issue is blackness when it's not, it's Americanness. And it's like you're becoming the first defenders for American exceptionalism. Why are you defending that? No Black British person is going to defend like poor British values which Black Brits also hold, because we understand the negative values that we hold of Brits, and we talk about them and we discuss them, and we're happy to be called out on them. Elitism, sure. Like being grumpy, sure. Being mean, sure. Complaining, sure. Like all those things are very true. We would never deny them. So the denial that Black Americans are under is really like, it shows a lack of willingness to progress. Yeah. I think Black Americans have a recorded tendency of throwing rocks and hiding their hands, and then...
When I say I am exhausted and I'm tired of it. I am tired of this argument. And here's the thing, because everyone has a lot to say about Black Americans. And not only that, the reason why Black Americans and African people from all over the continent of Africa that have come to America that have things to say about Black Americans, and why the Black Europeans have so much to say about Black Americans and vice versa, is due to colonialism. Stop. You are like, oh, Africans are telling Black Americans that it is disrespectful to call them Africans, and you consistently refer to Africans as one group throughout your whole video. And then you're talking about African hair braiding shops. That shows how little you know about Black culture in America. And when I say Black culture in America, I mean across the diaspora. If you go up and down my street, you will see that the hair shops aren't called Nigerian hairs. It's called African braiding shops. Just like it's called Dominican blowout shops. That's literally what they call them. We are not making this up. When we say I'm going to the Africans to get my hair braided, that's because that's literally what they call their shops. It says Tuba's African braiding shop. Like, if you do not know enough about Black culture in America, when in respect to not only Black Americans, but those who are also immigrated, then you go on to say about how Black Americans said that Chinese takeaway in Britain looks nasty, and y'all say the same thing. Stop. It all derives from colonialism. Stop. Because you sit here and you want to say Black Americans throw the rock, hide their hand. Y'all ain't even hiding your hand. Elaine the Payne get on this internet every other day and say some foolishness.
Black Americans have a recorded tendency of throwing rocks and hiding their hands, and then...
Welcome back to part 2 of you trying to make these diaspora wars seem like they are Black Americans' fault. Your second talking point was that some Black Americans tried African food and some of them didn't like it. My question is, must we like everything? Because last time I checked, there are Africans that don't eat other Africans' dishes and cuisines. There are also some Americans that don't like other Americans' food. Well, who told you that everybody must like everything? From what I've seen, most of the Black Americans that tried African food actually enjoyed it. It was way more positive than there were negative. But you guys can only focus on the small group of negative comments that were made about certain cuisines. You accentuated it. You exacerbated that situation as to make a problem, like you always do. Because deep down inside, you're very jealous of Black Americans. You're jealous of Americans, period. You do not like us. That is the bottom base. That is the meat and the root of the problem. I'm just going to say this. This is an example of some of the African dishes that were expected to be liked. And I can honestly tell you with my full chest, nobody wants to eat donkey teeth soup, sir. This right here is an example of the cuisine. This is pepper soup. I don't know if this looks like goat pepper soup from somebody's restaurant. But again, you expect people to like this. And I understand some people might enjoy donkey teeth soup. You know, I mean, they might goat whatever. This may be the most beautiful thing in the world to them. But you can't expect Americans to jump on this trend and be offended if somebody says they tasted it and it was nasty. But I'm gonna move on. Number 3, you said that we Black Americans insulted British food. We said that it was also nasty. I just want to make it clear that we were never talking about or to Black British people in the first place. And in so many instances, Black Americans, we have clarified and over-clarified who specifically we were talking about when we were talking about shit like beans on toast and jellied eel. We were definitely talking about white people because we never could think in a million years on planet Earth that a Black Brit would even entertain such cuisine. We know that you guys are of African and Jamaican descent. We just couldn't fathom that you would ever even put this to your throat muscles. But to our very much big surprise, you guys jumped in the conversation with your full chest like Superman, defending these beans on toast. Yet you want to bark up and down TikTok telling Americans, Black Americans, that we're defending American exceptionalism. This is why we say the hypocrisy is too much. Again, us Black Americans not starting a diaspora war, but this is exactly what the rest of the Black diaspora turned it into, predominantly aka UK Black British people, English edition. y'all, I'm gonna have to make a point.
Black Americans have a recorded tendency of throwing rocks and hiding their hands and then
shut the fuck up and leave us alone. If this is how you need to get your page off the ground, you need to find something else to do. This ain't it. We tired. Leave us alone.
I want to talk to my Black American people in regards to this whole diaspora war thing. We finna shut this shit down now. Hear me out. I know we sick and tired of being sick and tired of coming on this app seeing somebody specifically in the UK mention how dumb and uneducated we are, mention how we're not cultured, saying anything to belittle or dehumanize us. Since they feel like the world revolves around us or we have main character syndrome, let's start blocking them. Let's start blocking anybody in the diaspora that has something negative to say about us. Mass blocking. Because one thing about it and two things for sure, we gonna stop talking about y'all. And we gonna leave y'all to talk amongst yourselves. Because the rage bait gives y'all views and engagement and it does wonders for y'all. So we gotta stop giving y'all attention. And yes, to my Black American brothers and sisters, we give them entirely too much attention by trying to educate them on things that they're not trying to hear. Let's do a mass blocking, right? We know the power that we have to make people trend, whether it's good or bad. So the moment someone says something about us, block. We all block them. Don't comment, don't engage, don't do any of that. Just block. Because remember when TikTok got shut down earlier this year, and when we came back on the app, everybody's like, oh my God, we missed you guys. I know we argue so much, but TikTok was so boring without you. We're going to be here and we're still going to make it boring because you're going to be at the block party. And hopefully we can get the block party trending because this shit is so fucking clipped at this point. To my fellow Black Americans, we are better than this shit, bro. We are better than this shit, and we're using our time and energy fighting in this diaspora war when it does not serve us. We got better shit to be doing and we got better shit to be worried about. Let's keep pouring into the people that always pour into us and allow a hit dog to holler. If they want to come on the internet to belittle us, Let them do it. Let's start the block party. Let's start it right now. Let's start it today. Let's just get it going, please.
Black Americans going on about black Scots and saying how they did.
All because of you. You did not ask to be here, right? You did not ask to be here. They went and got you from a different place.
All right, y'all. So the family say we're doing a blackout party, and I gotta get onto it too because I can't be taking in this negative energy. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I know our words can cut sometimes. You know what I mean? And Africa is going through a lot. Like, I seen a video. Like, what really made me think about this, y'all? I seen a video with this African young lady. She was just crying out to the Africans that have come to America in particular. You know what I mean? She was just basically like, y'all niggas over there worrying about African Americans, and y'all done left us for dead. You know what I mean? She was just going down the roster of what's going on in Congo, how they just dying left and right. It's the #1 rape capital. A lot of these children don't live till they 5 years old, and y'all sitting up here online on some bullshit trying to deflect from y'all problems in Africa and why y'all done left that country for dead. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel bad for everything that I have even said about Africa. You know what I'm saying? Because basically we dealing with some children, you know what I mean, who don't want to take responsibility for their problems, you know, and it's just bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all got to man up and go fix Africa. You know what I'm saying? Y'all done came and just left the country for dead. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is wrong. Y'all got to get some strength, and y'all got to straighten up Africa. Y'all can sit up here and talk about us online all day. It ain't gonna change the fact that you done left your home for dead. You know what I'm saying? So worrying about us ain't gonna fix you. You know? And so Black Americans need to worry about Black Americans, and Africans need to go home and focus on Africa. You know what I mean? And because y'all, the way y'all done left that country is just wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like, and got the nerve to be out here running around fighting with other people in their country. Like, this, you know, hurt people hurt people. You know what I'm saying? That is a true saying, and that's what's happening. These Africans are hurt, and they out here running around trying to hurt other people. And I feel so bad, and I just don't, you know, I don't want to be a part of this. I don't want, you know, what's going on with y'all speaks for itself, you know, and I feel bad. You know what I'm saying? I feel bad. I pray for Africa, you know, and I pray for these Africans that out here that's just lost their mind. You know what I'm saying? I pray for them too, you know, and I just pray that we can all heal, and I pray that Africans fix Africa, because can't nobody fix Africa but y'all. You know what I mean? Y'all want everybody else to go over there and fix it. That ain't how it works. It just ain't gonna work like that, and we ain't doing it. We got our own shit to worry about. You know what I mean? We need Africans to get their goddamn strength up. It's too many of y'all. It's 10 billion of y'all. Y'all should have had that shit straight 2,500 years ago. You know what I'm saying? So I just pray for Africa's strength. And the block party is on. Y'all gonna fuss with yourselves online. Black Americans worrying about Black Americans, and Africans gonna worry about Africans, okay?
So yeah, I'm just ready to join the block party. It's crazy out here, you guys. Like, it's genuinely crazy how much anti-Black American hate there is that we've been experiencing from African communities. And we're just sitting here, we love everybody. We genuinely love everybody. And it is just so crazy, the erasure that is happening between, like, history of Black peoples throughout the world. It seems like with certain communities, if you are not specifically African, like, first, they just don't see you as African at all. But then, you know, they're still sitting here trying to claim part of the reparations movements that are happening. And it's just, I'm done. I'm ready to join the block party. I did not want to. I was genuinely enjoying my Scottish friends and stuff that we met after this past week. But, like, I'm over it. I'm just so over it. And the bots, like, I honestly don't even believe that this many of these people are actually African people having these comments. I genuinely believe it is bots that are mimicking the comments that are being made and just amplifying them. But the fact of the matter is that the comments are being made. We're not seeing enough videos of solidarity and support. Instead, we're just seeing constant attacking. So, as unfortunate as it is, I am Black before I am anything else. And I side with people who understand that. And if you don't, then I wish you the best. I wish no ill will towards you. It just means that we are not the same people, and that is okay.
If there's one thing that I am getting from this Black Scots, Black American pop situation, is the block party that is happening with Black Americans right now on this app. There is the biggest block party, the likes of which I have never seen. So all of you UK, African country creators that are coming on this app, even some American ones too, it's few, but they're still there. And some Black Scottish people, anyone really talking shit or was talking shit about the whole interaction with the Black Americans and Black Scottish, yeah, y'all getting blocked. It's the biggest block party, the likes of which I have ever seen. Block, 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 block. I mean, blocking, we don't even give you time anymore. We're not even giving you time anymore to present your argument. Go argue with somebody else now. But since Black Americans, we have no culture to you guys, and that American educational system, you think we're stupid and we're just not it, then we have nothing for you. There's nothing here, so go about your business. We wish you well, but you might not get a block. We don't want to know your shit, you don't know ours.
So we got people that we invite to the cookout, the Black Scottish, Black Irish, Black Japanese, Black Italian, Black Russian. Everybody jumping in like, hey y'all, Black Americans, don't forget about us. We because we're so underrepresented everywhere we are. And again, a lot of content creators are saying it. I'm going to double down, say it again, that of course we know that Black people are all over the globe. Of course we know that. We know. But they're so underrepresented. We have not seen them. And even when the media or movies are filming at these different places in the world, they're not featuring those people. With Wakanda Forever, Black Panther, the Wakanda Forever, when they were showing those more melanated brown people, some of them people like in Southern America or Mexico or whatever had a problem with the fact, I'm paraphrasing all of this, but the media and all the imagery that goes out is not so much of a focus on melanated people, so you don't know that we're in the numbers that we're in these different places. Like this one Black Scottish lady, because they actually have that Black Scottish TikTok thing going on, the hashtag is going, I see that, and she said, well, I'm seeing all these people, and it's like, well, where have you been? Where have you been, and where are you at? Black Americans help them find each other, essentially. Okay, so this is actually a continuation of a video I started, called myself Getting Jazzy, and saved it in drafts. Thought that I did. I was in my car, as you just saw, and I pulled up next to somebody that had this loud ass music, so I paused the video, like, okay, I'm gonna get back to it. Then I thought that I pressed the button, and I thought that it was recording, and I continued my commentary, all to find a day later that it never did finish recording. So here I am now, wanting to still finish that video and finish that thought about the block party. And then now that it's been a couple days later, because I didn't get a chance to just jump right back into it, now that it's a couple of days later, there's some other things that I've been seeing on my FYP, and I'm like, well, maybe this is why it wasn't meant to finish. I can speak to it now. So as the Black Americans, as the FBAs, we're over here like, hey cousins, and we over here talking to the Black Scottish, Black Irish, and doing that. Now I'm seeing some of the videos they're trying to creep through that are saying, American, you guys' education system, how come you didn't know that, that there are Black this? And it's just like what I said earlier. You're underrepresented just like we're underrepresented. But the thing is, your country that you're coming from is not pasting you in a bad light to make the rest of the world hate you. They're just not showing you. And we don't control media or the internet. We have access to it just like you do. So what about your country? What is it not showing you about the rest of the world? And quite frankly, the last damn time I had geography was the sophomore year of high school. Why would I remember the damn countries of the UK? Why would we? No one. We got problems over here in America. We're not trying to be self-centered, but we got problems, things that you all don't deal with your governments, obviously. So if we don't remember every damn country of Europe, or every country of the UK, or every country of the continent of Africa, oh my God. We over here trying to remember North America because we got problems, we got bills, we got kids to raise. We got things going on over here. We can't be worried about geography. And if that's what you're going to use to measure our level of education, our level of intelligence, oh my God, that's you need that? Y'all need that. So it's not every person over there that's doing this, but come on now, don't start getting disrespectful with this. Yes, we know that there are black people all over the globe. We have never seen you. And maybe your country and your government is just a little bit more nicer and respectful to its people, that it's showing you everybody else in the world. But as of September, even TikTok is about to change. You see what I'm saying? But just to go back to what my original, just to go over what my original post was about, the Block Party, all for it. Because we don't have time. We don't have time for the negativity. And so let's reduce your amount of viewership by just blocking you. And then now we only deal with the people who only want to mess with us. You know, we come cool and helping. It really just shows about the person. When you come nice to a person and you're welcoming to them and you're trying to be inviting to them, even if we don't understand language or how we're using our words or the dialect, if we don't understand it, you can still read energy. You can still read energy. And what is energy saying? And so far, it's just been welcoming. So for the people with these British accents that we don't know which country, we don't know. And just to bring up the Jubilee episode where Amanda Seales cooked, okay, put all of them on the grill and cooked, leave with understanding and empathy rather than judgment. So quick to judge us because we don't know. We can't know everything. Come on, that's such an unrealistic expectation. I have 2 doctorate degrees. I'm not trying to boast. I'm just making a point here. I know pharmacy. I know medication. I have a doctor of I'm a doctor of naturopathy or naturopathic medicine. So I know the spine. I know the neuromusculoskeletal system and how to treat pain naturally without medication, painful injections, or surgery. I know how to do that. I know Spanish. I know parts of Mandarin. I know how to create websites. I know how to make flyers. I know how to type. I know how to do a lot of things, but I can't know everything. So there's going to be some things that even someone as educated as me is just not gonna know. And that's just how it is with all of us. We're not gonna know everything. So if we say, oh, we didn't know, and even if you didn't know that it was a joke, or even if it was sincere, did it have to be met with that kind of stank attitude? Did it have to be met that way? Come on. And that is showing and proving our point that there may be a little bit of jealousy here. What's your problem? We show our vulnerability and now it's weaponized against us. I'm seeing a lot of those type of videos, even from some of the Scottish. So what I did was moved around because I'm not going to allow a few of theirs to dictate the whole. But what I will say to others, you know, if you have a segment of your collective group, which you actually have a right to speak to or say something to, if you got a segment of them doing something that you feel like, hey, y'all not representing us in the best light, you have a right to say something. And you should be the people to say it. Because it coming from us, it's just going to seem, you know. But you should be the ones that's going to say it. And maybe it's not that serious. But if y'all really want true unity in the diaspora, it's the respect factor. That's what we're talking about. We just want respect. Respect. And everything is not that serious that you got to correct our spelling, grammar, all of that. You know, when I first became, you know, president of what I do in the association, I used to send emails out to the members of the association. And y'all could always tell the ones that had the, I just caught the stomach flu face at the fact that I was able to ascend to that position. Because they was always trying to correct me on my grammar or correct me on words or something. You know, okay, I'm doing multiple things. I missed something. You gotta put me on blast publicly for it. And that is what they're doing. Which is kind of showing to like our point. That y'all a little jelly. Y'all looking a little jelly. What's that with that Cat Williams special? Like, you ever find somebody looking at you with the I just caught the stomach flu face? That's how some of y'all are kind of looking online.
Have you ever caught a motherfucker looking at you with the I just caught the stomach virus face? You ever just out your peripheral just called a motherfucker just...
Nonetheless, all for Block Party 2025. All for it.
I think some of y'all just need to admit that you're obsessed with us. You're obsessed with Black America. You're obsessed with Americans in general. You're intrigued by us. You're inspired by us, but you just don't want to admit it. You don't want to say it. You'd rather talk about us. You would rather say that we're stupid and we're uneducated, but yet you just can't seem to get us off your mind. You can't just seem to get us out of your mouth. It's like, we're all you ever talk about. I keep scrolling past these videos talking about Black Americans this, Black Americans that. And then, or in my comment section, it's like I'm trying to let this whole conversation go. And I'm still getting notifications about this same post, and people are saying the same thing over and over and over again. No originality, no uniqueness, just spewing the same old hate over and over and over again. Very much redundant. It's really given like, do we need a restraining order against some of you motherfuckers? Like, is it really that serious? It's given an obsessed ex that just won't leave a bitch alone. It's given, damn, give me 50 feet. Give me some space. It's giving Block Party 2025, and that's what we need to be on as Black Americans, or just Americans just in general. We need to be on this blocking spree like how I've been on, because I have never had to block this many people in my entire life. But it's crazy that some of y'all just don't even realize just how obsessed you are with us. You just can't keep us off your minds. And it's like, Black America, we're not even that big of a population, but it's like, damn, y'all just, you got your head stuck so far up our asses that we gotta turn corners like a bus. I don't know what, I got that from a comedian. I don't even remember who it was, but shout out to whoever that was. But we gotta turn corners like a bus because your heads are stuck so far up our asses, we can't just move how we wanna move.
Hey, yeah. How's the block party going? It's going real good over here. So, FYI, as a reminder, the others are starting to remove their flags from their bios. So be careful. The other thing I want to warn y'all about is while y'all are enjoying Black Scottish TikTok, Black Irish TikTok, Black Russian TikTok, I want y'all to remember that a lot of these people that are jumping out saying, oh, I'm Black Italian, they're Africans. They're not who we're looking for. We're not looking for immigrants. They jumped up
but they're not who we're looking for. We are looking for the indigenous ones, not the ones that are immigrants, first, second, third generation immigrants from another country. We don't want y'all. Go home. Sit down so we can see the real Aborigines. We don't want nothing to do with y'all. And y'all can get mad, y'all can get frustrated. So you can't beat me up, and all you're gonna do is end up on my block list. Which honestly, by the end of the week, is gonna be thicker than a New York City phone book in the 90s. But everything's coming to the light. But I need y'all Africans and Caribbeans that are everywhere but Africa and everywhere but the Caribbean. Sit down. Move out the way. We're not talking to y'all.
I really try to stay out of the diaspora. But if it's one group of black people that's going to really grind my gears every time, it's going to be the black British people. Don't beat me up. But I think black British people are the white people of the black diaspora. It's something about them being over there with the original colonizer that they perpetuate so much anti-blackness and then be swearing up and down that they're not doing. I'm tired of it. Black Americans can't even have a conversation with black Scottish people without black British people being obsessed with us and starting a diaspora war. Y'all can't never mind y'all business. It's almost like them white people that y'all are surrounded by over there. Leave us alone. As an African American, we understand that black people are global, but there are some countries that we simply just don't think about. And so it was refreshing to have a conversation with black people in a different part of the world that we barely think about. That's it.
Every time we turn around, the UK got something to say about black Americans, something to say about Americans in general. In my opinion, they just never got over losing the American Revolution. That's it. That's all. I think that the UK is obsessed with us because we're like the one that got away or some shit. Okay, like leave us alone. Okay. I also think that when it comes to black Brits, why they're obsessed with us is because they have been in Great Britain, right? Been in the UK longer than we have, but they don't have that global reach or that global influence. Okay. They really hadn't found a way to differentiate themselves from there, if that makes sense, right? Like they don't have like an identifier. They don't have something that sets them apart where people could say, okay, that's black Brits. Like they don't really have that, right? They would have to lean on coming from whatever Caribbean place that they come from or whatever African country that they come from. They don't have any. They don't. We are not the same. Like we're the same age basically, but not the same shit. Okay, so I just don't think they have an identity, so they're obsessed with our identity. Okay, they're not really accepted by the UK, but they're also not really accepted by their people back home. And I think that that's one of the things that fuels a lot of their stuff in the diaspora. You know how their people got that sign? Why do they get a Black History Month? Why do they get Juneteenth? Why do they get... That's how they are. That's their obsession with not just Americans, but Black Americans specifically in general. Okay? They don't understand pretty much anything. Okay? They talk about American imperialism like everything didn't fucking start with them. America didn't start fucking slavery, bitch. UK did. That's the truth. Okay? America didn't jack everything from every fucking body around the world. Fucking UK did. That was Great Britain. Okay? So what they do is a lot of deflecting and throwing shit off onto Americans like they aren't actually the big bad wolf. It's not Americans sitting on the shoulders of fucking Africans being carried through fucking swamps and wooded areas, bitch. That would be the British. Okay, so I just think that they do so much focusing on America because they don't want nobody to look at they motherfucking asses. To tell the truth, okay, everybody's fucking artifacts and shit is still sitting in they fucking country. Everybody's jewels and shit is still sitting in their fucking country. It wasn't America's raiding the goddamn tombs of Egypt. That was the fucking British. Okay? There ain't nobody colonized anything more than the fucking British did. Okay? So, they just like using America as a scapegoat. And they mad about that fucking ass whooping that they had handed to them in the 1700s. That's the truth. And that Black Americans have honestly outpaced and did far more in our time here than they have done in their time there. Have a good day, y'all. And their personalities are just as fucking bland as their fucking food. And they're mad that the Black Brits have to come over here and play American slave roles. Have a good day.
Y'all, I'm so glad y'all finally got with the program. Black Americans, stop arguing with them British black folks. Who gives a fuck what they talking about? They're so uneducated. They don't know shit about over here. Okay? Y'all know that. We know that. They talking points is like, yeah, you been fed the propaganda. Always talking about y'all don't travel. Y'all don't travel. Y'all ain't got no money like that. Shut up. And the Africans, what? Talk to them for what? They can say with all the bullshit they gonna say. Talk to them for what? You had to run over here. Goddamn, all that they just so much better. Then go home and make it better over there. See, it's really easy when you know, we got electricity all day long. Argue with them for what? Stop talking to them folks. I'm so glad y'all said y'all blocking them. I don't argue with them. They keep on talking about we think we the main character. They use AAVE. Bitch, we are the main character. What did you talk about? We been the main character. Oh, America just still treat y'all like slaves and export all y'all information. Baby, America export all of America. Because y'all know about white Americans too, but y'all don't talk about them because y'all want to be very close to them. So you try to talk about us. We already know that. We don't care. Okay? You'll never be one of them. I'm so glad y'all could talk to him. We are the main character. Everybody, they wouldn't have nothing to talk about.
Here we go again.
Why is it that Black Americans hate Africans?
I don't know.
First of all, that is a very toxic generalization to say on a podcast panel that why do Black Americans hate Africans?
Like, from what I've heard, I guess annoyance that they feel like Black Africans come to the country and they're given preferential treatment because there's this sort of belief that, you know, we work harder and we do this and but therefore we're like the good model minority.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody never said that. Not what Black American have you ever heard say that they felt like that they didn't like Africans because they felt like they were considered a model minority and that they work harder. Y'all are the only ones who think that you work harder. Y'all are the only ones who make up these fake ass statistics about being more hardworking. Y'all are the only ones who believe that. Because I can guarantee you ain't no Black Americans feeling like that. Being a model minority refers to being an ass kisser to the system, not to working harder.
Which in turn makes them look bad.
Yeah.
And that.
Okay, so everybody thinks that you work harder, therefore that makes us look bad. I swear you can't make this up. And see, to me, that's like some sneak diss type shit. Like you can't get that off on me. Like when she said that, she was trying to be funny. I can guarantee you that there's no Black Americans that feel like Africans make them look bad.
Even though, I mean, the FDA and the ADOS lot, they say that they can distinguish who's Black American and who's African.
And I can't.
They say that there's like so many different, like, you know, you can easily distinguish and all that, which I think is a whole load of cap.
I mean, I think it in a lot of cases we can tell who's African or who's Black American. Like you don't recognize your own people. I mean, I'm not saying that you can always tell, but a lot of times you can tell.
Maybe some truths to it. Like at the end of the day, we know how white supremacy works, right?
Yeah.
And it does absolutely get off on causing division. That's how it's always been. And it's just unfortunate that people are actually buying into it, but they're mad at the wrong people. I just feel like the energy is completely misdirected. And
this is just all on us, right? This is just a completely unprovoked back and forth, and that all, I guess, started with us.
Like, even if those differences are there, 'cause I'm going to give them the benefit of doubt and say that there's some element of truth to that. Who is responsible for that?
We need more honesty about the misinformation that's been put towards both of us, because when we've had this discussion multiple times, it's not often we get Black American honesty about the negative stereotypes they have. I say it, we say it, but they're like, no, we were open arms and welcome.
I mean, Black Americans have been very honest about the negative stereotypes. I haven't seen anybody deny them. I've seen people address it head on. So this is the reason why it's not good to have a whole panel of just people who are not even Black American, or just when you talk about something and you don't have a person that you're talking about on the panel, you get a lot of
diasporic counterparts in the US, my African Americans and my first generation Americans. The difference between Love Island USA and Love Island UK that we can see right now with our eyes is why a lot of us Black Brits look in to your media in the US. That is why we consume it's not just why, there's a myriad of reasons. Particularly an American-centric Western world, but that's a different conversation. But like the difference between Love Island UK and Love Island USA, what we are witnessing and seeing right now, do you understand us? Do you get us now? Because that's what we have to deal with in the UK. Oh, it's just disgusting. And there's no little corner where we have our own media in the UK. That there's like a tiny hole for a rat where we have our own media, but it's not like what you guys have got. But both Love Islands on right now, UK and US, is the best comparison example I can give you. Look at the difference. Look at the way the people behave. Look at the people they have to interact with. Look at the public voting. Look at their attitude towards us. Look, that's why. It's not because we're obsessed with you. It's that we have nothing. And American media has been forced down our throats. And oh my gosh, I can see myself in American media versus not seeing myself in the UK and watching myself, where myself is there, self being bullied, self being excluded, self being unconsciously biased, self being discriminated against. I'm not saying that you've not got that in the US. That's not what I'm saying. But you have more safe spaces for us than we have for us in the UK. I just like to
be secondhand embarrassed for a whole other nation that I have nothing to do with, because this discourse about Black Americans finding out about Black Scottish people, right? It was cute, it was funny, I laughed. I was like, do you know what? When I was like 15 and I met my first Black Scottish and Black Irish person, I met my first Black Irish person in uni. I was 19. I was like, what the hell? There's Black people there? Like, it's cute, I get it. But when it gets weird, when it gets fucking weird, is when it gets switched around and they're made to seem like they're native to Scottish land and that they shouldn't speak to other Africans and don't let other Africans influence you. And like a simple Google would tell you that these Black, British, Scottish people are exactly the same as those in London that you are talking shit about. And the same Africans that are in America right now, we all came via mass immigration all the same way. We're all from the same countries as well. I find it really, really, really ironic that some of the videos that I've watched, this is why I shouldn't watch TikToks in the morning, because it's 7 o'clock and I'm fuming. Some of the things that they're saying is that we're obsessed with Americans. No, it was cute at first. But when the conversation switches and it becomes about, again, Africans and Caribbeans and how we shouldn't allow them to influence, we shouldn't influence them, and don't let them Africans is what I'm hearing constantly as I scroll through my fucking FYP to influence you guys. Obviously we're gonna get involved, because again, it shows again that the American education system is it's stupid. Like, what did you guys learn in school? I just don't understand. Like, did you also know that Scotland is part of the United Kingdom? Like, we all have the same passport, you know? And it's funny because now the Americans are crying, saying everything's going left. Why do Africans need to get involved? You guys made it weird. If we're going to be realistic, you guys made it weird. You guys made it about different cultures. You guys started talking about Africans and Caribbeans. We just laughed and said, do you know that they're African too? Because there's been clearly the biggest discourse happening over the summer about Black Americans and Africans and Caribbean immigrants. So obviously we're going to tell you, do you know that these people are the same people that you've been dissing? Duh.
In these continental streets, we call you guys fucking idiots.
the international continental streets call you guys fucking bozos. You had Donald Trump as your motherfucking president. You could never be black British people that you are talking about. That is what I said. And I said, as black British people, win and yam beans and toast. That is what I said. I don't anyway. And then I went on to other topics and explaining to black Americans why you're not the cream of the crop, because that's what Courtney J tried to insinuate, that black Americans are better than everybody.
This is how you know somebody is just a pure hater. Not one time in Courtney J video did she specifically call out black British individuals. She specifically brought up specific staples within your country, and then she mentioned 2 podcasters that mentioned African Americans. We in the international continents, we are labeled as idiots and bozos. Baby, never one time did she diminish you guys in one type of way. But here you are trying to diminish and call African American people bozos. First of all, within a country that was never designed for us, that are making waves within that country and creating opportunities that y'all gotta leave y'all country that y'all are in to come to our country and make waves and have opportunities that you can't have within your own country because y'all not making waves like we are. Talking about if you were well traveled, y'all could take a train to another country. Baby, we could take a train to another city and it feel like another country. We're well traveled within our own country because we don't actually have to leave our country to have the experiences that y'all have to leave y'all country to have. Like, and then you got the nerve to go on and say, you guys have Donald Trump as your president. Comprehend, you just said it, baby. We are minorities within America. Like, we really had the choice of who the president is. You're just a pure hater and you're mad because you're not making waves within. Focus on making waves within y'all own country so y'all don't have to leave y'all own country to have the same opportunities as we as African Americans have. And y'all don't have to come over here and piggyback off of the freaking footprint and the blueprint and the steps that we took to be at the top, baby. We had a black president. Y'all still over there with a white family with a queen and kings. Make waves within your own country before you try to come and diminish black people. Because we made waves within this country that was never built for us, and we got our respect. My last final statement, we will always be the #1 cream of the crop. We them. We them. Once y'all stop talking about us so much, then we'll believe we ain't.
You know what, since everybody's having Diaspora Awards, I'll put my 2 cents in. Because at this point, fuck it. Black Brit, to the front, and maybe you can help me understand. Why is it that every video I come across from a black Brit, you guys are so negative. Like, you guys are so negative. If you're not being negative about one thing, you guys are being negative about black Americans. If you guys are not being negative about black Americans, you guys find another thing to be negative about. Like, you guys sound so miserable in England. Like, you guys really do. Is it the weather? Is it the weather that makes you guys so angry all the time? A little sun or something? I'm not understanding this. I'm not understanding. There's not one positive video I've come across from a black Brit where they are not complaining about something. And it seems like the focus, it's always targeted at black Americans. I'm not entirely sure why. It seems like it's always targeted at them when they're minding their business. You know, South Africans close second, but mostly they just kind of mind their business most of the times. But black Brits, man, you guys are something. You guys are something. And man, am I glad my mom did not immigrate over there, because misery loves company. And I'm sorry, but a lot of you guys like to bring everybody down with you, and it's depressing. It's depressing. I don't know, take a trip to Fiji or something, get some sun.